I've just been meditating on what would be the most valuable conversation for you and I to have around this new moon in Virgo. And to me, it feels like a conversation that goes deep, will serve. Yeah, we're gonna talk the astrology, the archetypes, the energy, but there's something with a Virgo new moon, here we'll weave it together like this. There's something with a Virgo new moon that demands purity. Let me explain that. Oftentimes we think of Virgo energy, right? When there's a new moon, sun's in Virgo and the moon's in Virgo, they're conjunct. So there's a lot of Virgo energy and it's new, right? So new moon, new beginning, fresh start. But here's the thing about Virgo. It often gets this like negative connotation of nitpicky, of always seeing ways to improve, perfectionist. It's never good enough. But here's the other side to Virgo. It is so high vibrationally pure. So Virgo, the way that I like to work with Virgo energy, especially in an embodiment place and the real like opening to the gifts of Virgo energy, is Earth Priestess, the Virgoan Earth Priestess. Now, let me explain this for a second, just so you can feel. So this is kind of the first depth. And then I'll weave it into how this relates to life and what might be showing up in your life around this new moon, or how you can meditate with this energy, or the kind of rituals that might really, really serve in this moment. But first, let's dive a little bit deeper into Virgo Earth Priestess energy. There is this, in Virgo Earth Priestess, there's this love for life, right? That's like the feminine earthiness. Right, priestess, it's very feminine energy and it's earthy. So there's this love of life, like this just love of life, love of plants, love of earth, love of the human experience, love of love, love of life. And that's something really amazing to step into in this new moon energy of love of life. Now, it's also this love of life and knowing that there's a higher, truer, deeper way to be expressing life and to be experiencing life. Now those words were chosen very carefully. To be expressing life through us and experiencing life. So taking life in. There's a higher, truer, deeper way. That's part of the gift of Virgo. So when we feel into this new moon, and if you do new moon rituals, or you want to just meditate on this new moon, or just be in the energy and really kind of soak it up, or use this energy to create the new, or to start a new chapter, or plant new seeds for a new beginning. Those are all really great things happening in the energy of Virgo. What you can do is to really create it from this place of deep reverence for life. Deep reverence for life, but not settling for less than the all of everything. That's why these things are esoteric energies, right? Because they're way beyond our human capacities, but they gift us. It gifts us in a really, really beautiful way. So if I were going to work with this Virgo Earth Priestess energy, I would go to my heart. I would get really embodied. So I would be doing body-based practices. I mean, real body-based practices, making love, body-based practice, moving my body on the earth in nature, body-based practices, cooking, right, with the plants. I would be wrestling with my dog, right, from a place of just big, open-hearted life, letting life flow between the two of us. I would be with my babies, right? I would be loving my babies. I would be present to my babies. I would bring myself into life as much as I can. I would go back to this expressing life through me in deeper, truer, more authentic ways, and perceiving life in deeper, truer, more authentic ways. Where do I have the blinders on? Where am I not wanting to be a part of life? Where am I really upset with what's happening in life, right? Can I, despite my pain, because Virgo Earth Priestess, she also feels the pain of the world, right? She feels the pain of the world. Her heart is constantly breaking at the pain of the world, and knowing that there is a better, truer, deeper, more love-filled way to be giving, receiving love, to be connecting with each other. Like, she opens up portals and potentials to, I don't want to say newer. She opens up portals and potentials, but we could say that because there's a Uranus, like Uranus is just wildly strong at the moment. So that's bringing in new, revolutionary. So we'll start to weave some of these different elements together now. But this Virgo Earth Priestess, this new moon has this capacity to open us to newer, let me also feel into this for a second, newer structures, because Virgo is earthy, it's physical, it's material, right? So it's also asking us to really feel into newer structures, newer physical, newer material things, newer wiring in our bodies, so very embodied, a newer heart wiring, a newer belly wiring, a newer womb wiring, so that I can receive life, I can perceive life from a clearer lens. That's part of Virgo. It's so beautiful. I want to perceive life not through my wounded experiences. I want to perceive life from a purity. There is this demand for purity in Virgo. And if we don't pigeonhole this beautiful Earth Priestess into demanding perfection, but we lean into this possibility of cleaner perception, clearer perception, instead of having like foggy tinted glasses where we're constantly taking things in through our own fears, our own insecurities, our own judgments of self, our own, all of those things, right? It's literally like, no, let all that go. Let all that go. Let all of that go and really perceive. And Virgo is also not a fairy flossing, let's make it all fluffy. Like I said, Virgo Earth Priestess, there is the pain of the world sits in Virgo Earth Priestess' heart. Like, this breaks my heart. This breaks my heart. But let me perceive it. Let me perceive it clearly. Then let me express life through me in the highest, truest, deepest, most authentic. It's like becoming a hollow bone for life energy. I love this hollow bone word lately, but you can say clear vessel, a clear channel for grace, right? Priestess, channel for grace. That's Virgo, right? That's Virgo Earth Priestess. But it's not a channel for grace up here in the mind. Earth Priestess, it's a channel for grace all the way through the body into the earth. All the way through the body into the earth. Can you feel the purification required for that? Because it's not just, oh, let me have right thought. That's one level. It's like, let me have right thought. She comes down, let me have right speech. Let me have right heart opening. Let me have right belly. Let me have right womb. Let me have right making love to the world. Right? Like, she goes right down into those first, second chakra areas, right down into the shadow. She's like, I want to be right with the world. I want to be right with the infinite, all of everything. I want to be right with life through the whole of my body. The whole of my body, even the like sticky, icky parts in our butt, or our hips, or our base chakra, or our genitals, even the sticky, icky parts. No. I want to be a channel for grace, even through. I want to be a channel for grace through my genitals, through my sexuality, through my belly, through any of the parts of my body. That's one of the gifts of Virgo Earth Priestess. So that's a practice that you could do, is just really bring this grace in, this this life loving, like love of life, this love of life, very feminine, right? It's not transcendent. It's not wanting to escape life. It's no. It's heaven on earth. Heaven is here. It's right here, but I'm not perceiving it correctly, and I'm not expressing it. I'm not co-creating it from that. I'm not co-creating it from this high vibration. That's one of the gifts of Virgo, and that's really on offer during this new moon. So feel into how that serves, or what you're called to do in that particular energy. It's can be very enlivening, very awakening. It can be very grounding. It can help us to manifest things into the world. Virgo Earth Priestess. She earths it. She earths it. She births it. She earths it. She grounds it. She makes it physical and manifest. So it's like, wow, I've really, from a true deep place, it's got to be true and deep, right? True and deep soul center. This is priestessing. And so if you feel into, oh, I've had this inspiration to create a business, or I've had this inspiration to create a new garden. I mean, gardening, that's just her jam, right? But if you were to allow that inspiration to come all the way through the body, like let the energy and invite it, and you like lean into Virgo Earth Priestess energy and invite that energy to come all the way through the body. Like this inspiration, let it come into my mind, let it come into my throat, let it come into my heart, let it come into my belly, let it come into my pelvic region, let it come into my genitals, let it come into my intestines, let it come into my anus, let it come into my legs, let it come all the way into my feet, let it come in, let it in, right? That's Virgo Earth Priestess. Medicine woman, you can feel into the energy of medicine woman. She's a medicine woman. She's a very grounded medicine woman. So she's honoring both the heights and the depths. It's an extraordinary energy to work with. We've got some Pinterest boards, and I think we might have a few articles on Virgoan Earth Priestess, and we'll share those in our Facebook group. So if you're part of our Facebook group, you'll see some different posts popping up over the next couple of days. If you're not, you can find a link up here or down below to join the Facebook group, and we'll share some more resources around this Virgoan Earth Priestess, just to give you some other things to feel into. Okay, so let's feel into this. There's two other aspects I really want to talk about here. One is, let me feel where to go first. Let's weave off of this Uranus piece where I said the new, possibilities to bring in the new, possibilities to bring in revolution, revolution to bring in change. This is lightning bolt change, radical revolution, going into the new ways of doing things, new forms. Here's the interesting thing. Uranus has just gone retrograde. But let me feel for the best way to talk about that here. What pops into my mind is May. For many reasons, what we were working on in May, or what started in May, even if it was a thought or an idea, or maybe it was something in the physical world, what we're working on in May, we may have to revisit. So all of the outer planets are now retrograde. That really brings us into this energy of revise, revisit, all the words, reinvent, right? Reorganize, recalibrate. And so it's a moment in time where we can go, okay, let me reflect on, I know this might sound like they're competing energies, because I was like, no, you can really move forward on a new moon, and you can. But what if the moving forward is a readjustment to something that already started? What if that's the greatest leap forward, is a reinvention of something that you already invented? What if it's a recalibrating of something that you already brought in, and you just recalibrate it a little bit, and whoosh, that's what takes you forward? To me, that's this moment in time. There is this potential, if we can be humble enough. We also have to be really humble to go, okay, I brought this in, and it doesn't have to be May per se, right? It could be before that, it could be after that. I brought this in, we started doing this thing, and I'm humble enough to see what's working and what's not. I'm humble enough to see what I'm still clinging on to, and where I've actually moved into the new. Can you feel that? This humble, and I started this conversation off with like vulnerable, true, right, deep. That's Virgo asking us. And Virgo, Earth Priestess, is extremely humble. That's where the perfectionist comes. Extremely humble. I'm okay to see where I've failed. There are no failures. There's just learning from that. And this moment in time, it is so okay to see where we feel like we've maybe failed or where something hasn't worked out, and giving ourselves permission. When we can give ourselves permission and we can get this humble, the insights that we will get, and then our capacity to let go, to make the adjustments. It's about making adjustments, and making those adjustments and being humble and being honest and being real about what is working, what's not working, what we need to revise, what we need to revisit, what we need to recalibrate, what we need to reorganize. That is rocket fuel. That is rocket fuel into, it's like propelling you into the next greatest potential. This is all still a very destined time. So I know I've been talking about destiny, I've been talking about fate, right? It being a very destined time. It is still a very destined time. And so it's this opening up to potential through humbleness. Like, I'm okay to see what's working and what's not. I'm okay to admit that I made a weird choice. I'm okay to admit whatever it is. I'm okay to see. Even just, I'm okay to see, because we might not be seeing it yet. Mercury is about to go retrograde. Mercury just entered his shadow. Mercury just shifted signs as well into, where did Mercury go into? Libra, I think. I just want to make sure. Yeah. My brain sometimes doesn't quite work when we start doing these things. Mercury just went into Libra, but just entered his shadow, because he will be going retrograde back into... I keep wanting to talk about Gemini just because Mars is a Gemini, so I'm getting super funky around that, but back into Virgo. So let me just clarify that, because I know I've just thrown a bunch of weird words and my brain was like, blah, 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 blah. Mercury's entered shadow in Libra. Mercury will come back. And this might be when Mercury starts making this backward motion, which is on, not quite sure when that happens, but maybe 2 weeks from now or something like that. We'll talk about that in the next video. That might be the time when the brain can catch up, when the brain is able to revise, revisit, reflect upon. So right now it's more of all of the outer planets are going backwards. So we have to get a little bit otherworldly in this moment and get humble. But being open, kind of just opening this door for the next couple of weeks to be humble enough and to know that there is such grace in seeing where we can make adjustments. Really seeing what's working and just being honest, this isn't working, or this is working, or, oh, if I tweak this a little bit, this will really work. This is all Virgo. By the way, this is all Virgo. Virgo will always, this is part of the gift of Virgo. Virgo will find a smarter, quicker, better, more efficient way of doing something. Always. That's Virgo. Virgo is so glorious at this, right? And it's a Virgo new moon. So if we're going to go new things, okay, how can this be more sustainable? How can this, whatever this is, it could be relationship, it could be work, it could be family life, it could be anything. Right? It could be everything. I know for me, it's like every area of life. Every area of life is being touched by this. But feel for you, like, is it every area? Is there a focus area or a few focus areas for you? Okay, so that's the humbleness piece. Uranus is also squaring. This is intense. Relationships are let me feel. I want to get these words in the best way that I can. When I feel into it in my body, this aspect, I feel literally like my heart is being constricted. I feel like my love is being constricted. I feel like I want, like even the desire to love and be loved, to receive love, to be dancing in my feminine, to be flowing, right? To be to soften my body and to just let life force flow through me feels constricted right now. It feels, it's like I've been put in a box, and if I want to dance, I have to like work really hard to move into my feminine. I also feel like, I think I'll leave it at that. Because I want to explain this aspect now. That aspect of ourselves, that's Venus, Aphrodite, the feminine in us. We all have feminine in us, right? It's beauty, right? Like goddess of love, goddess of beauty, Aphrodite, right? Goddess of connection, relationship, all the yummy, right? The yummy, the juicy, the life force, the flowy, the let me just soften into my feminine and dance with life. Let me make love to life. If you're feeling like, ooh, that's just hard to get into right now, she is opposing Saturn and squaring Uranus. And this whole month has been tough for Venus. This whole month, I think it's so wild. I'll just be totally honest with you. We opened up this program, ReWilding Your Relationships. You've maybe heard me talk about it. And it's really about taking relationships to the next level, opening up to relationship potential. And I'm just watching it and I'm like, wow, no one can even feel into relationship right now, because this aspect of us that really loves relationship, that really the deep heart desire. It's like the deep, and it's just an authentic feminine thing. Like when we really go deep into the feminine heart, the deep feminine heart, there is this desire for connection, a desire for union, a desire to be seen, to be felt, to be known, this desire to love and be loved. It's a deep feminine desire. It's way beyond human heart. Like it's just in the feminine. But it's almost like tough to access that right now. It's tough to access that because of these big energies. Uranus, huge energy, just lightning bolt of revolution, and can be showing us, sorry, there's a plane and I've got the door open. We're doing this in the kitchen. This is not like kitchen astrology today, but showing us this, almost the, where things need to change, where things aren't fitting. In all love relationships, this isn't just intimate relationship. And then Saturn opposing can be really bringing in constriction, can really be constricting, or constriction, restriction, almost like overshadowing, like I'm gonna overshadow the feminine. That's how it feels to me, and it's painful. Like, it's really painful. To feel into how much we're ignoring the deep feminine heart. And my sense or my hope is that this Virgo New Moon really offsets these big masculine energies that are just loud. This new moon is also square Mars. That's another big masculine energy. And so this is a great moment in time to feel into, where am I at with my masculine energy? Where am I at with my feminine energy? And I'm not saying that one is right or one is wrong, or we should be somewhere, or there should be a perfect balance. No, that's not. It's what is true for you. And so to just feel into, whoa, like for me, if I were to feel into myself, like, whoa, I have been really masculining. I have been really, I know my own inner masculine has been evolving. My own masculine has been moving up to higher levels of integrity, higher levels of consciousness, higher levels of presence, higher capacities of directional force. And then I feel into my feminine. You can use different sides of your body to feel into these different things. And then I feel into my feminine and I go, oh, yeah, it's funny. Just wants to be, actually, this will sound interesting, but in the spirit of being totally authentic and raw and real, my feminine wants to be like permeated by the masculine, like penetrated by that beautiful masculine essence that I was just talking about, that consciousness, that presence, that directional force. Like my feminine is just, it's like this in me going, just fill me, like just fill me with purity, fill me with consciousness, like the pure essence of divine masculine divinity. Fill me with that, wrap that around me, hold me with that, penetrate me with that, but like penetrate every cell in my body, permeate me with that, because that to my feminine feels nourishing. That would be the greatest nourishment. Like a bubble bath would be fabulous, a dance, you know, in the kitchen would be fabulous, but it is not nearly as nourishing as the nourishment of that essence of divine masculine. Just, and as I'm talking about it, I'm feeling it happening. It's not that we have to be making love for this to happen, right? We just can meditate on that. We can call that in. And so maybe you're even feeling that, and this is a moment where you could repeat this little section and go, oh wow, I could use this as a meditation. And let me just feel like, can I invite, I'm really also watching in the astrology and also just feeling like there is this up-leveling of masculine, and it might not be happening in our politicians. It might not be happening, you know, overtly or seeing it in the news, but it's happening. I'm watching it happen in all genders, right? All human beings. So I'm also not saying that this is, oh, men specifically are up-leveling the masculine. The masculine essence on the planet, to me, this is how this feels, and this is just my observations, and you know, those I work with closely who are really tapped into energy. These are the conversations we're having, is it's really this up-leveling of masculine energy, like really, let me just feel for the right words. It kind of brings me back to this Virgo New Moon of this purity, moving beyond toxic forms of masculinity, moving beyond overpowering, disempowering other to feel power in self, to like mutual empowerment, like your empowerment empowers me, my empowerment, right? Like we vibrate from this place, these higher expressions of masculine energy, like real sacred levels of masculine energy, and it's stunning. It is so stunning. I wouldn't be surprised if the astrology is leading to some real sacred union aspects, right? Like Parvati in the mix. I don't even know, but I would not be surprised, and I'll definitely keep you in tune as we kind of look ahead and go into other astrology videos in the future. This Mars piece, I'll share this piece with you, and then I'll give a practice at the end. This Mars being square this moon is warrior. So Mars is warrior energy. So if we talked about Venus and that feminine aspect, Mars is her consort. Mars is her consort, her lover. Mars and Venus, right? And, oh man, when they are dancing together, the passion, right? The passion and the fire and what can be created in that energy is stunning and is amazing. And so, while squares are challenging, right? Squares are challenging. This is a challenging aspect. So Mars squaring this Virgoan Earth Priestess. But what if in that square, the challenge of that square is part of the Virgoan Earth Priestess literally initiating the masculine warrior to higher levels of consciousness, right? So what we just talked about, feeling this masculine really being asked to step up, evolve. That square is stunning for that, right? A square, it's like a push-pull. There's a tension in it, and the tension creates deep change. It might be uncomfortable, right? It might be uncomfortable in the transformation, uncomfortable in the evolution, uncomfortable with the letting go of the old, also with so much Uranus energy happening at the moment, just turning retrograde. Like it's literally like, whoosh, and everything gets amplified when a planet moves retrograde, especially Uranus. I mean, crying out loud, this is the year of Uranus, the year of radical revolution, the year of change. But I'll share this little theme too, just so that maybe you don't feel like crazy. This is also a moment in time where it's go forward, change, revolution, and then the door gets slammed in the face. It's like, run ahead. Okay, cool. Yes. And then it's like, wait, right? Or maybe that's not the right direction. So these retrogrades, right? This revise, revisit, renew. This is the gift of Saturn. We beat Saturn up all the time for being constriction. And yeah, he is all of that too. But it's also this gift of, no, get it right. You just get it right. Get it right. Like, yes, there's new. Yes, there's revolution. Yes, there's a better way of doing things. Yes, pioneer new relationships. Pioneer new ways of working. Pioneer new government. Yes. But it's like Saturn's going to keep it in check. Like, okay, you can't just run off willy-nilly, right? It's like, let's... I like to refer to Saturn, if you've hung around with me for a little while, you'll know I refer to Saturn as like wise old man. He's like wise elder. He's like Gandalf, like Mr. Miyagi. He's like, yes, young one, like, let's do that. However, there's a preparation in it. There's a training to it. I want to bring you to mastery so that when you do create something new, it comes from a mastery place, not an immature, young, wild place that doesn't serve as much as this place will serve if you let me prepare you. So yes, it can be frustrating as heck, right? Like, and I feel like I'm breaking out of the old. Fuck no, the old is back. Oh, I feel like I'm breaking into the new. Oh, no. Constriction. But if we can let it work us, if we can see it as, okay, this is actually just working me. It's like stomping the grapes to make fine wine. That's what's happening, right? And there's a fermentation process. There's a stomping of the grapes. It doesn't just happen overnight. That's this energy, and it's stunning. It's painful, right? But it can be really, really, really stunning and beautiful if we let it. Okay, so if this video served, hitting the like button super helps us out and is just, I'm just super grateful for that. If you feel to leave a comment, I would love to hear how this new moon is showing up for you. Like, how is the energy showing up for you? Like, oh my God, Sabrina, I'm feeling the push-pull. Oh my God, Sabrina, my feminine feels crushed. Oh my God, I'm totally feeling the masculine evolving in myself, or I'm seeing it around me. I love hearing these things. Love hearing these things. And it also helps me to weave into other video conversations, other podcasts, possibly the new or possibly the full moon. So please, I read all of your comments for the first couple of days after videos, and they really, they bring something really, really beautiful and a wisdom. It's like a weaving of the wisdom too. So you might want to read the comments below, because there might be something in the comments when you read them that just boosh, it hits you, right? It hits you. Okay. Let me feel for a practice. Before I share a practice, just want to let you all know for the final time, and then you will not hear me talk about this because the program disappears, the discount thing goes away, because we launched the ReWilding Your Relationships program. I mentioned that earlier. It's potent it's subtly potent. I like those words. It's like sneaks up on you. And it's all relationships in life. So I will leave it at that. If you're just kind of craving to go on a journey, to go deep inward, to be held on like a real deep soul level, in a way that also honors all of the connections around you, that's something that's on offer until the end of the month. So it's gone on the 31st. So if you're watching this after the 31st, that program will be taken down, and so will the introductory $100 off discount. Okay. That's that other thing to just invite you to, or for you to feel into. I know many of you are already part of membership. You're part of Living Close to the Bone. this month on August 1st. So we gather on the 1st of every month for a live 2-hour workshop that weaves in with the astrology, the current astrology, and we will be working in this energy. We will also be working in the energy of karma. So there's a very deep karmic destiny, fated, just this door is just wide open. It's been wide open for a while. But now we have this opportunity to really like open our eyes, and you can feel into this too for yourself, to really open our eyes and see the karmic consequences of choices we made so that we can clear up the karma, right? It's not just like, oh, I want to see this so I can beat myself up. Never. That's not what this is about. It's let me do this so I don't repeat it. Let me do this so that I can bring consciousness to this unconscious pattern. Let me do this so that I can heal the karma, clear the karma, love the karma, shift the karma, right? So that I can shift things. So that's the territory we're working in. If you're not a member of Bones, it's $47 a month. When you join, you get like, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 hours of workshops that you can dive into right away. And then we get together on the 1st, the 15th, and the 22nd of every month. It's a really, really beautiful and potent and powerful space. Okay. Practice for this new moon. I would invite you to feel into your belly, feel into your solar plexus, right? So solar plexus is right here. It's above the belly, but like kind of lower rib cage. And I would invite you to feel into your solar plexus, and I would really invite you to go deep into power, like really deep into power. This is an area of our body that can prevent us from getting humble, can prevent us from seeing little adjustments, can prevent us from seeing where we could make better choices, where we could revise, where we could revisit. This is an area of our body that can sabotage this Virgoan Earth Priestess capacity. And so I would come right here to solar plexus, and I would, let me just feel. I would invite Uranus energy. Uranus energy is like lightning bolts of Kundalini. So Uranus is also very linked to Kundalini energy. Kundalini energy is spiritual awakening energy. It's radical, it's revolutionary. It's like lightning bolts of change. I would invite lightning bolts. You just hold the intention of highest good, take me into the new, right? And you kind of got to get like a little bit feisty with this area. Like you got to like a little bit of passion, a little bit of fire, right? Like let your body get involved in this, because this thing will just cling on tight and it will go, I am not going to see. I want to hold on to perceived power. I want to hold on to what I think gives me power versus maybe what authentically gives me power. I want to hold on to the old. I'm very Saturnian. I'm super happy to be clenched, to be tight, to stay in the known, right? To stay in the safety, security of what I think really supports just because it's known. And so I would invite that lightning bolt energy right into solar plexus. I would invite it in from all different angles, all different sides, and you're just inviting it into my highest good. Everything that we do here, when you're working with Kundalini and Shakti, like you're working in your highest good, but you can hold that intention just to maybe just give yourself peace of mind so that when a lightning bolt like jumps into your stomach, you're not freaking out. It's really what it's about. But you hold this, in my soul's highest good, not my ego's highest good, right? Not my little self's highest good, not my false self's highest good, my true self, my wise self, my full self, right? My soul self in that highest good, right? That's a powerful prayer. Let me break up, come in, let me break up the knots. Let me break up where I'm clinging onto power, where I'm holding. And I would go right here. I would go right here into solar plexus. You might feel your heart's holding, you might feel your throat, you might feel some other areas of your body, and you can scan for that. But I would start right here. I would start with the solar plexus, right? Where am I clinging and holding on to old structures? When we do that, then it loosens things, and it loosens things, it opens things. We get to see differently. So it goes all the way right back to Virgoan Earth Priestess. Can we perceive life from a truer, clearer way? Can we also express life through us in a truer, deeper, more authentic way? Yeah! All right, my beautiful friends, I hope to see you on the 1st for Soul Circle in Living Close to the Bone. You'll find links up there and links below. Maybe I'll see you in the Facebook group. We'll share some resources again on Virgoan Earth Priestess energy, and who knows where else I'll see you. Maybe I'll see you in ReWilding your relationships for the big journey. Dun, dun, dun. All right, so much love to you. I'll see you when I see you, where I see you, and how I see you. Mwah.